All right, welcome everybody to another Friday night of Keto Rocks Radio. We are your hosts, Jim Hobbs, and to my left or right is Brian Damage Forsythe of Kix. Hopefully everybody is coming out of their turkey coma. And I know for me in my household, Brian, I know we were talking a little bit before we start to hit the record button, but I got a freezer full of turkey, and the turkey that we had brine for Thanksgiving Eve, I should say. Peggy and I had one on Thanksgiving Eve, but we used that turkey bone and we make turkey broth out of it, which is just amazing. We normally do the 3-day process, but this year we decided to do it in the pressure cooker, so it took 2.5 hours, so it's much quicker, and was able to take that broth and make turkey soup. And that turkey soup is still we're living off of it still this week. Probably got another 2 days off of, although I think I got to take a break tomorrow. It's a little bit too much. I'm getting turkeyed out, but it's
Yeah,
healthy. You know, that bone broth, but I love broth. Broth is just so nutrient packed. It's like your body's like a sponge. When I drink it, it just says, we love it. Give us more, give us more.
yeah, it is really good for you. Yeah, I'm in the process of making some. It's a combination. What do I have in there? Beef bones, pork bones, and lamb bones. So
Wow.
it's been cooking. Tonight it'll be 24 hours. I forget what time I started it now.
Now, do you do it for like 72 hours like we do, or how long do you cook yours down?
Usually I do around 48, but I'm probably gonna let it go till tomorrow morning. I made ribs yesterday.
Smokey, I hear Smokey in the background.
Where is she? Oh, she must have. She always does that when she comes up from the basement after using her litter box. She's probably complaining because I put my guitar cabinet in the bathroom in there.
She's like, I don't have as much space.
Yeah, she has to squeeze around. It's got packing blankets. I have mic'd it in the bathroom so I could soundproof it a little.
So what else you were working on? So you got broth. I know you hit your one of your favorite farms today. What you pick up there?
I just went by Annie Akers farm to grab some eggs and the raw butter that I get from there. They still don't have duck eggs. She said she's kind of given up on them. She doesn't think she's going to get them until spring now.
Wow. I wonder if it's because I don't understand why. I know when we have our chickens, during the winter months, they don't produce as much because of the not putting light, but if you put light in there for them and give them light, so they get a little bit longer daytime, they'll produce not quite as productive as they are during the summer months, but they will produce during the winter as well.
Yeah, I don't understand the schedule, but yeah, she even said that last spring when they started running out. She goes, it's going to be a while. It might be till next spring. And then at some point in the last couple months, she said she found a couple eggs, duck eggs, but it was only like a couple, and then that was it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to do some research on that. One of the things that I talked to a good friend of mine over the holidays or over Thanksgiving holiday, and he was telling me that he had a heart attack a few years back, and now he was saying, he goes, "Hey, I just want to let you know, Hobbs, I think I'm going vegetarian vegan for
Okay.
health reasons." And and of course that's what the doctor is recommending. And of course, who am I to tell him to? And I cringe though when I hear people tell me that, because so many people mix the sugar with the fats and the meats, and then they go. I know, for example, they dive into the plant-based Whopper that Burger King offers, and they then go, "Oh, this is good," and then I can buy all this plant-based food, and they've been made to believe that that's healthier for them,
No.
and it couldn't be the more opposite. But you just can't get through to them that they're harming their body, and he was saying, look, for it's just something I have to do because my body's not able to break down the saturated fats. I'm like, well, that's probably because you're overloading your liver with all these seed oils and these plants that have all these toxins in them that you're unaware of, that the doctors don't share this with you.
And the carbohydrates.
And the carb, right? And so you just
the saturated fats is like, that's the thing that'll improve your arteries. People, it's completely backwards. It's crazy.
Yeah, and so it made me go. I know I broke out one of our favorite books, the Dr. Barry's Bible, the Medical Myth Bible. And you just go through there, and it just really makes you just scratch your head. Like, one of the things that really is puzzling, and is that I'll just kind of share this with everybody. But in 1995, the entire population of the United States, every single state, obesity was below 20% levels. Every single state was blue, which means we're below 20%.
That was 95?
In 1995, I don't know if anybody can see that or not. I'll put it in the show notes and take a picture of it. Here, hold on a second. Let me see if I can't let me switch it up a little bit. Anyway, 1995. And that was shocking to me that in 1995, every state was below 20% obesity. In 2005, every single state was 25% or higher. 25% or higher. There was only one state that was below 20%. 10 years, it took only 10 years. Let me bring this up. Let me see if I can't take the virtual background out so people can see this. So in 1995, 2005, there you go. Now here's the crazy part. So we had one state out of all of them that was below 20% in 2005. Here we are in 2017. It's going to be shocking to you. Oops.
And what's that showing?
That's showing that we're all obese, every single state, and by a good amount.
Yeah, it's the new norm.
So, but we go back to trying to do what we think works because of the food pyramid and the counting calories and the typical thing that people do for dieting. And instead of getting healthier, we're getting more obese. Yeah, so those states there that were all red that I was showing you, that means that state now is over 35% of the state's obese. I mean, you're creeping up on 50% of the state. That means 1 out of 2 people. Right now, it's over 1 out of 3 people is obese. I mean, that's staggering. And then you wonder why, at least here in Virginia, they're building these urgent cares like 7-Elevens. They're everywhere. They're opening up on every corner. I mean, sometimes the whole strip mall or plaza is nothing more than urgent care or a lab and another doctor. Like it's like 3 doctors in a row. They're opening up, besides the number of hospitals that they've opened up here in Northern Virginia in recent years. And this is why.
It's big business.
Yeah, it is big business. And so it's growing. And I mean, literally people are growing to the point where they're obese. And with obesity comes all these diseases, diabetes, heart disease, and then cancer. What does cancer feed on? It feeds on sugar. So you have all these issues going on. And where does people continue to go to for their advice? The people that has doctor in front of their name and wears the white robe, because we believe that they know what they're doing, and they only know what they've been taught to treat and taught to prescribe, more importantly. And so it's just so tragic when I just know in the community in which we associate in, the people who live a carnivore keto lifestyle with intermittent fasting, the positive changes and the impact you see that it has on their health. And you can see them, live this thing out. It's not theory. It's not, but the book says you need to do this. you're seeing them become healthy before your eyes. I mean, I posted a picture of Peggy and I think in the last week or so, I came across a picture of us where I was probably 300 pounds and we looked, I mean, it's just 7 years ago, 2013. And then I posted another picture from the fall of this year, and you can see the total difference in our appearance and our looks. We're way more healthier. Matter of fact, in my opinion, we look younger in 2020 than we did in 2013. And all that changed was just what we fueled our body with. And the more that we literally cut out, including vegetables for the most part, we literally pretty much live a carnivore, ketovore lifestyle. And I never count calories. That's not even in my vocabulary.
No, I don't either.
Yeah. People who get really serious in keto go, well, what's your calorie counts and all that? I go, I don't count them. Now I think you and I talked off the air last week, and I told you that my weight started to creep up, and I don't worry about weight too much, but I do track it, and I kind of go, what in the world's going on? What have I incorporated into my lifestyle that's causing me, or what am I not doing? And so it got as high as 200 this week, and then I said, all right, well then I'm going to shorten. I think I told you I was going to shorten my eating window. And so I've shortened that to a 4 hours and 20 hours of fasting and 4 hour window to eat. I'm back down to 196 this morning. I was back 196 this afternoon, I should say.
What's normal?
I've been usually 189, 193, right in that range. So, 193 starts to creep up to 196. And I don't really sweat it that much, because the next day it could go right back down. But when it starts to go to 197, then 198, 199, and then 200, I'm like, what in the world is going on? I really haven't changed that much of, I may have indulged a little bit more in the sweet during Thanksgiving. But I'm back to that 4 hour eating window and totally just drinking water.
Yeah, my weight is creeping up too, and I think it's a result of that cheesecake. I still haven't I froze the last of it, and I was thinking of it today. I was thinking, oh, should I pull one of those out and let it defrost? I went, no, I'm just gonna forget about it for another couple weeks. Just let my weight subside a little bit, because I think dairy does that to me. It's a weight trigger for me.
Yeah, I know. I had peanut butter fudge keto. It was keto peanut fudge brownie that Peggy had made for us for Thanksgiving. So we had something to eat that was good, and that was really good. She also made this keto pumpkin that was absolutely delicious as well. So, there was a lot of sweetness that I don't normally partake in. But, it's the holidays and people gather together. And so, I ate keto the whole time. I didn't, get off the keto reservation, but, I was literally feeling stuffed on Thanksgiving Day. So it's, so if you're out there watching this and, you're like, hey, I gained some weight too, don't feel bad. So have we, so have I. And
a lot of times it's just a little bit of, water weight, actually, because I think that's what it is with the dairy for me. It just causes me to retain fluid, and, I'll give it a rest, and all that goes away. Like a few days later, it'll just drop back off.
Yeah. It's amazing to me how, I can remember when I wasn't eating a healthy lifestyle, how I literally just felt bloated and stuffed 24 hours. And but my mind, this is the trick that sugar does to you. Sugar goes, oh, time to eat, time to eat, time to eat, time to eat. And you really become less like an eating machine. And, that's one of the things that I think people who have sugar incorporated in their lifestyle, when a doctor or a dietitian says, oh, you need to break down and have just 5 to 7 small meals throughout the day, you go, oh, that's great. That fits my lifestyle. But that doesn't help you. That's really very harmful for you, in my opinion.
Yeah, I remember back before I started eating healthy, and I was eating, you know, junk cookies and cake, and uh, yeah, I would get stuffed, and I'd still want more even after I was stuffed, and I would just keep sort of pushing it to that edge and keeping it right there on the stuffed mark.
Yeah. I mean, I can remember finishing breakfast and then finishing a snack and then going, where are we going to have lunch? And if I'm being totally honest, I was totally stuffed, but my brain was going, we got to eat. We got to eat. Where are we going to eat? Where are we going to eat? And it was overriding what I was experiencing in my gut. My gut was telling me, we can't do this anymore. Stop, stop.
Right.
But my brain and my addictive part of my brain is going, we got to eat more. Come on, let's eat. What can we have? Let's go grab something. So, that's one of the things that I can't iterate enough out there is that, you have to listen to your gut, listen to your body, not your mind. Your mind literally will override your what your body's experiencing. Listen to your body. Your body knows what you should be doing. So
Yeah, your mind is easily tricked.
yeah, that's a great way of putting it, Brian. Yes, your mind is easily
I
tricked.
don't trust anything my mind comes up with sometimes.
Yeah,
Most of the time.
your mind your mind will trick you into saying it's okay to have a treat. Your mind will give you every excuse in the world to have that treat.
Right.
I know for me it would. If we're traveling on a road trip, we're on a road trip. It's okay. We can have the treat.
And then once you give in, then it's easier to give in the next time.
Yeah,
And
and then here's the trap we all fall in, and this is a trap that at least I fell into it over my life. Oh, it's between Thanksgiving to Christmas and New Year's, you're just it's going to happen. You're going to gain weight, so you just might as well just go with it and start living a healthy lifestyle come next year.
yeah, it's like open season on junk.
Yeah, so that could not be a bigger lie that you're telling yourself. Do you really want to make yourself unhealthier going into the next year, or would you like to reprogram that and say, you know what, I'm going to eat healthy so I feel good starting now, so I'm at the best possible health wise I can be starting out the new year, and start off new year literally being healthier than you were the year before. So
Yeah.
but as Brian says, the mind will trick you. The mind will want you to not listen to what the body is experiencing, and the mind will want to. It's the enemy that wants to come to steal, kill, and destroy you. Is basically what it is.
Yeah, me being coming from like an alcoholic background, like I have with addiction and all that stuff, I can recognize those. I can recognize that the addiction part of my brain, that's the part that I got to be careful and be aware of at all times, because, it'll want me to grab something from the outside to make my inside feel better when actually, it's never going to work. It's never going to be enough. But
Right.
when you do it like that, it's got to come from the inside out.
Funny you're saying that. Actually, I know you got a book that works. I'm actually been working on the book. It's actually called The Power Within. Um, it's a I'll go into it at some point when I have it all done. But one of the things that I say is, anytime you're searching for something outside of you, it's a trick. It's an illusion.
Yeah.
Everything that you need is within you. So you don't need to be looking for any outside stimulation or satisfaction. Everything you have is within you. So um, that's what you got to go with. You got to go with your gut. What your gut is, and the fact that I think intermittent fasting will begin to share light in a lot of areas of your life, and it'll give you a lot of confidence as well when you
Yeah.
realize that you don't have to be eating around the clock, and that the fact that you can do it. And once you get off the sugar plantation, once you get off that sugar roller coaster, you'll be surprised at what you can accomplish by not thinking about food all the time. I mean, you'll literally become productive in other areas of your life. At least that's been my experience.
Yeah, the intermittent fasting really, really, really helped me. It Yeah, it definitely. It showed. I mean, I've talked about this before. It showed me, the difference between hunger and boredom, and emotional eating, and all that junk. And it's really helpful to see it that clearly. And now it's like when I travel, I don't freak out if I don't have a snack in my carry on. It's like I can make it to the other end, and then beyond. I mean, I don't. Sometimes it's like, I'm done for the day. I don't even have to think about it.
No, I think it's great. And I think the other thing that you get a chance to do, you do free your mind up to start to want to do other things. I know for me, I take Slinky, our basset hound. We go on about a mile walk every day, uh, and that's something that it's just clears my head. It gives me able clear thinking and to be able to give him a little exercise as well. But start to do things that you used to do in place of food. I know I used to live my life like where we're going to go. It was always centered around food, but you get a chance to do healthier stuff. You get a chance to go on hikes or go to the park or go visit a museum or go read a book or just go outside and or you learn how to play a musical instrument, but reward yourself in other areas besides foods. I mean, food has become such a reward in our country for celebration, but there's other ways to be able to celebrate other than just putting food in your body. um, so
Yeah, yeah, and there are, to be honest, there's stuff that I miss that I used to love, but it's like, well, I've already had that stuff, and I know it's not good for me, and I'd rather be healthy than sick. So it's worth the sacrifice, for me anyway.
no, I'm with you there. One of the things that I have trouble during this time of this season during Thanksgiving and Christmas is we used to bake cookies and actually go around and deliver them to friends and family. Um, it was something that we loved doing, and
Hmm.
we've had to reprogram ourselves to because sometimes there were some shortcuts that we would take there because it's very easy to make sugar cookies and chocolate chip cookies. Uh, it takes a little bit more effort to make it keto friendly because one of the things that Peggy and I do not want to do is we don't want to be peddling the poison in which we don't take ourselves.
Yeah, I've been, because I did the same thing. I make cookies for my family, like a bunch of different kinds, and for my brothers and my mother and my sister, and it's like this year I'm thinking I can't do that this year. It's like it's not right.
Right. That's the struggle Peggy and I have. We just like it just it's even when we get together with friends, we always make it a keto friendly dish. And they don't even know it's keto sometimes until they go, man, this is really good. They go, yeah, those are keto brownies or those are keto bars or and they're like, really? And we go, yeah. And so they go, man, these are really good because a lot of people believe that keto is just, is means it's going to be bland. It's not going to taste great. It's not going to have great
Yeah,
flavor.
like cardboard. Yeah.
Yeah, like cardboard, right? And and I can understand that if you've had maybe some of the nutrition bread that is like cardboard, a delivery system, but there's but there's a lot more ingredients now that are keto friendly that you can literally make from scratch. A great like your cheesecake, for example, Brian. I know Emily is actually posting. She messaged me before I jumped on that she was making a peanut butter cheesecake today. So Emily,
Yeah, she sent me some pictures.
she said Bree doesn't like peanut butter, but I'm making a peanut butter cheesecake, and so it looked really good though.
Yeah, yeah. I got to figure out. I have not done much besides that cheesecake, but I mean, as far as like cookies and stuff like that, I haven't done anything keto, so I'm not sure. I'd have to research it to find something good to make if I was going to do that.
I sent you. Did I think I sent you the recipe for the the keto peanut butter fudge brownies? Did
Oh
I
yeah,
send?
yeah, yeah.
Those are that's a pretty easy recipe, and it's really good. The only thing I would add in that recipe that I don't think they have in there is you want to add a little bit of salt. There's no salt in that recipe, so you want a little bit of salt just to bring the flavor out.
Yeah, I usually add salt to everything.
Okay, well then good. Then you'll be fine then.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, even cookies, I'll sprinkle it on top when they're
yeah,
baking.
one of my favorites is the keto dark chocolate with sea salt. That's like, oh
Ah,
my gosh, that is perfect. So
I used to make I made some horrible. I used to make these Nutella cookies
oh
with sea salt. It was like 5 ingredient cookies. I think it was Nutella, butter, and I forget. It was only 5 ingredients, but like terrible ingredients.
yes, there was a coffee shop in Old Town Warrenton that would make Nutella pastries, and so you could go there. They make them fresh, so they were hot. And Nutella by itself is good, but in a warm bread pastry, warm, and oh my gosh,
Yeah,
nothing but
these cookies were like highly addicting.
yeah. Well, that's how these pastries are, and so that's one of those things that you know talking about it, I go, man, they were so good. But and even in talking about it now, as I'm thinking about it, my stomach is turning because I'm like, it's just poison. I look at it as,
It is.
yeah,
Yeah, it's pure poison.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. And I used to be addicted to that Nutella stuff. I was one of those people who never had tried it until probably about 5 years ago or 6 years. I haven't, and I tried it. I was like, oh my gosh, where's this been all my life? This is unbelievable.
well, it's, actually, Nutella for me was a little overboard on the sweetness. Like I could use it to make those cookies because you kind of water it down a little bit. But
Right.
I remember the first time I saw that stuff was over in Europe when I was on one of those Rhino Bucket tours. They would have it at breakfast. It was like instead of jam or something, they'd have Nutella, and like our tour manager Manny would put it on his toast. And I tried it once, and I was like, "Oh, how can you eat this for breakfast?" Like I didn't get it, but
Right.
a lot of people love that stuff.
Yep, it is definitely addicting. So anyway, what food projects besides that you're working on this week, Brian? What do you got planned in the hopper?
Well, I made ribs yesterday, so there's a few left over in the refrigerator. You know what? I have not. I'm really bad about planning ahead these days. It's like I think about it and then I forget to pull stuff out. But I mean, I still have I have a prime rib roast down there in the freezer. I just saw that today and I was like, oh man, I forgot about that. And I still have that giant, like an 18-pound pork belly down there in the freezer and
Mm,
that I need to pull out at some point. I just every time I think about it, well, now I don't have any trips coming up, so that was always the stumbling block. It was like, well, I
right.
can't pull it out now because it might not be thawed in time. So, yeah, and I just bought some more ribs I picked them up today from Tennessee Grass Fed. So I got 2 more racks of the ribs, and then I bought a bunch of short ribs too, the Wagyu.
Ooh.
Um, Wagyu, or however you say that word. Yeah, they're big, fat, thick, the juiciest short ribs I've ever had. They're so good.
Well, you'll have to let us know how that turns out. Definitely, I know you'll be posting pictures. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I made those not too long ago, a few weeks ago, but I got more now. So
Well, good, good. Yeah, I have I ordered Mark's recommendation. I did order some of the Wagyu hot dogs from Snake River Canyon, I believe is the name of the farm. And so they actually were supposed to be delivered today, or I guess they'll get here tomorrow. But I've been living off of turkey soup and turkey broth for a week now, so I'm looking forward to a little bit different different variety of some meat. So I know I'm going to have some of those hot dogs as soon as they come in. I know I got some rib eyes I got to thaw out that are the big thick ones, and then Sunday Peggy and I are heading out for some friends for a Christmas carriage ride down in Old Town Fredericksburg, and then afterwards we're going to our favorite restaurant for prime rib, and I will be getting the King Cut medium rare prime rib, which is always delicious. So looking forward to frequenting Old Town Seafood. on Sunday and enjoying a big old king cut piece of prime rib with that au jus sauce on the side and some horseradish.
Yeah, it's about time for me to cook that ribeye roast. I haven't had that in a while. And then I still have in this freezer up here, I still have piles of like ribeyes because I bought another ribeye roast that was on sale at some point. So I grabbed it and I chopped it into like 5 giant 3-inch steaks. So I still got a bag of those in there but they're so big. It's like unless I do like some extensive workout, it's like I can't eat that big giant thing. And I think I still have a tomahawk in there. There's a bunch of stuff I could live off of it for a couple months probably and not go to the store.
So you're good. You could lay up in your pad for the whole month of December and be
Yeah,
good.
I just need eggs and butter. That's maybe bacon, but I do have that pork belly, so that could sustain me for a while.
But the only thing we need to go out for, I go out because the chickens that we have don't deliver enough eggs during this time of year. I go to our Whiffle Tree farm in Warrenton and get 6 dozen eggs. And matter of fact, I picked them up yesterday, so we're good for another week. That's how many eggs we go through in a week. So 6 dozen a week.
Wow.
Well, we also use them. And I think I've told you this, but for those who may not know this, but I cook up our own food for our Basset Hound. So I do ground beef and ground turkey and 18 eggs I put in. So that's enough to give him. I think it's 4 solid days of food just doing that, and I do that on the griddle. And so
Oh, you cook it.
I cook it on the griddle. I do cook. I cook. It's medium rare. I cook the turkey and the meat. I do cook it up, and he loves salt and pepper. Like if I didn't put salt and pepper, he's a little bit of a diva when it comes a food diva. He's a foodie. He loves his Redmond salt and black pepper. So I put that on there for him, and he's totally happy. So that's what he lives off. That and the eggs. Now I will say, interesting enough, the eggs I now are cooking. I cook the eggs in with the hamburger and the turkey, but when I was just eating or just feeding him the raw eggs, his coat was much shinier. Just giving him raw eggs, his coat was shinier. Peg and I was discussing that this week actually. So I may go back to just busting the eggs raw.
Just put it on top when you give it.
Yeah. So that may be it. Well, it's that time again to wrap up another episode. So thank you guys for joining and hanging out with us on a Friday night. Before you check out, and I always forget to do this, but please give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. It really does mean a lot. Some of the guests that we want to be able to bring on, we want to know that we actually have people who are actually engaged. And so by doing that and also sharing it, you help make more people aware of a lifestyle that could bring them health and energy. So with that being said, please give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Either way, it helps.
Yeah.
And Brian, I'll let you share it, closes out with whatever's on your heart.
Me?
Yeah. Meat's on your heart.
Meat?
And
yeah, it's a challenge though. Now that it's getting colder, I can still use the smoker no problem, but and I drug the griddle out today because it wasn't too bad in the afternoon. But there was one day when I wanted to cook something. I think it was the day I made that. It was like a casserole and it had the seafood and eggs, and I made that in the oven instead because I didn't feel like it was snowing. It was snowing here in Nashville, so I didn't want to drag my smoker out there or the griddle because my griddle's not covered, so it'd be out in the freezing cold. It's been getting down in the 20s here at night.
Yeah, it just got to the 20s here last night. Matter of fact, I built our first fire, the first fire of the winter today actually. So
yeah, I haven't cranked up any of my fake fireplaces yet.
Well, I actually built a real fire today for the first time this season, and it is definitely hot in our house this evening. But yeah, it was a cold day today. So you guys have had snow. We haven't had snow yet. So
Yeah, what day was that? I can't remember, but Yeah, I got up and it was flurrying, and not sticking. And then as the day went on, it got like thicker and thicker. And it never did like stick to the concrete or the streets. It was just in the grass, but wasn't a whole lot. But for around here, it was probably more than usual, especially for this time of the year.
Yeah, because when do you guys normally get? Do you guys normally get snow in January, or do you guys or late December? Is there a chance for White Christmas there in Nashville, Tennessee?
No, I think since I've been here, I think we've only had like one or two dustings, and that's it. And it's usually one morning I got up and looked out, and I was like, "Wow, snow!" And went to get my camera to take a picture, and it was already starting to melt. And it was like 9 in the morning, and by 10 it was pretty much gone. I
So
mean,
you
that's
got to
how
be quick.
fast it goes away. Yeah,
Don't blink, you'll miss it.
yeah.
Hey, before we go, I meant to ask you this earlier. How was your jam session up with Brad Divins and the crew? How did that go?
It went pretty good. Yeah, we kind of just ran through those songs that I recorded on, and the problem was that I hadn't listened to them since I recorded them. So I'm like, they were calling out the names of the songs, and going, "Which one's that? Which one's that? How's that one go?" So it was, I was kind of stumbling through the songs, but it was fun to play through like amps with real drums and all that junk, and it was kind of the only weird thing was we were using headphones to hear, and so the mix was a little off. I couldn't really hear the singer that well, and the guitars were a little too loud for that room. But it was still fun. The guitar sounded great in there though, man.
Awesome, awesome. All right, well that's it for tonight. We will see you guys next Friday. So stay well, stay safe, and stay out of the hospital.
And eat your meat.
There you go. We'll see you, everybody.
All right.